Mary West is an experienced practitioner in the aged care and disability sectors with a strong foundation in person-centred support, clinical insight and adult education. She holds a Bachelor of Dementia Care alongside qualifications in aged care, disability, counselling, grief and loss, mindfulness-based therapies and expressive therapies, neurological rehabilitation and training and assessment. Her professional focus centres on enhancing communication and understanding the complexities of changing behaviours in dementia. Drawing on her diverse skill set, Mary bridges theory and practice to empower care teams with evidence-informed, compassionate strategies. She is a passionate advocate for dignity, emotional connection and meaningful engagement across care settings.
Okay, so as I said, we're going to look at it from the perspective of the person living with dementia. And many people ask, but how on earth do you know what it's like for someone living with dementia? This is one of our oldest programs on VR. We actually developed it with the computer programmers, neurologists, but it was directed by 20 people with diagnosis. Experienced the symptoms. 10 of them experienced them all of the time. The other 10, just some of the time. All 20 had other symptoms that we're not showing here. It's either because it was specific to them, so it wasn't general enough, or we couldn't actually do it through this technology. It might be touch, smell, taste, things like that. So I'm only mentioning that to let you know that we have been fair, we haven't exaggerated what the experience is like. And keep in mind that the 20 people who were experiencing these symptoms were all independent. They were verbal, they could communicate with the team and actually direct where they were going wrong, where they needed to be more specific. They were early on in their diagnosis, living at home mostly independently. We're going to talk about stress and how stress can impact the person with dementia, and some little tips on how to look at our communication and the environment in general. These are two areas that we do have a lot of control over, and it can make a huge difference when you're supporting somebody with dementia. If you fully understand, you can't change everything, but even being aware that it's an issue can be useful sometimes. So with this virtual reality, the way we've set it up is you're not walking around the room, because honestly, I wouldn't be able to catch you all. Just too much. We have designed it in a way that you're going to move through the environment by looking at a light, staring at it, and it's going to move you along to the next part of the scenario. So, when there's a white light, and this won't make a lot of sense to you now until you get in there, so don't worry. There'll be white lights in the environment. That means it's not ready to move on. This is your chance to look at the ceiling, look at the floor, listen to the sounds, really get a sense of what it's like. After a few moments, it'll change colour to that. You stare at it constantly until the progress wheel starts going around. Once it's full, you will jump to the next spot of the room. Okay, so you're going to move around an environment, but that's how you're going to do it. Me explain it sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. Okay, so you're going to make your way from his bedroom to the other end of the house to try and find the bedroom. Take your time, have a good look around. Get going, everybody. So put this around your neck first. Adjust your headsets. Put them on, put your earphones on, and get started. Just call my name if you need some help. Put your hand up. Yeah, you don't need your hand up. Oh, good. gone to sleep, just look up and down really quickly.
Yeah.
Did you come back now?
No.
Don't want to set it for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
No.
I can't sleep with all this noise. Come on, Edie. Oh, watch out. Oh, I've told you this before. Don't leave the clothes lying on the floor. Put them away. They're there's no... Oh. What's that hole? What are you doing now? Oh. You've peed in the laundry basket again. It's all over the floor. Oh.
Okay, so did any of you miss anything when you went through? The clothes on the floor, yeah. Anything else?
The silhouette of the person.
Yeah, I always miss that. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
I even tried it this morning before you came in to see if I could still catch it. I miss it every time. Anything else?
I miss the pictures falling off
Yeah,
the
me
walls.
too.
Yeah, yeah. You probably heard the sound,
Yeah.
but yeah, didn't know where it was coming from. We'll start at the end. When he opens that last door, how many of you thought, oh, I'm at the bathroom? Yeah, yeah. As I mentioned earlier on, this is an issue that many people with the diagnosis of dementia say that they have a problem with. We're going to go straight into the queuing, how we queue for people with dementia. Eddie opened that door, and probably for a few moments, he did actually see the shape of a toilet. Of a laundry basket. But all the cues that were being provided to him were telling him this is a toilet. You open a door to a room that's tiled, it automatically feels different. It feels colder. Even if the heating is on, you feel that chill of the cold tile. All the smells, the detergents, the various ways, whether it's like changing the cutlery, changing the colour of the cutlery. It's very individualised care. You're not going to do everything, but when there's a problem, keep that in the back of your mind. Well, what can this person still do? And maybe I can use that to help them support themselves to eat independently for as long as possible by just changing little things in front of them. And I had 3 ladies that used to walk around the aged care facility doing their own thing. And they used to get to the dining room and they would stop and wait. And I asked them, like, is there a problem with the dining room? And I asked them a few times, and eventually, because they were kind of half answering, not answering. And then they came up with everything's just floating around. So what they were seeing was all cups, plates, knives, forks, just floating in the air. And I understood it straight away, but only because I knew the environment. But the best thing to do is actually take a black and white photo, because a black and white photo will show colour and light. When we're talking about contrast, we're not just talking about black on white, you know, red on blue. We're talking about light as well, and how it can be the same colour, different material, might absorb light, and then it blends in with the white and sits beside. That's the reason it's really expensive to make black and white movies. For those 3 ladies, tablecloth. Anyone. Plain is always better without a pattern. Always better. But it created a contrast straight away. However, the facility I was working at the time very brand focused, and this tablecloth was not going to stay. So, without telling them this time, I got my trusty electrical tape. I had it with me all of the time, and I just ran blue electrical tape all around the table. And it worked exactly the same. Every place there was a break, they knew that's where the chair was. So they'd go over and they'd pull it out and sit down. So it's a very simple solution. A lot of chairs in public areas, like this is not a good example, but are all one colour. That again, depth for people with dementia is a real problem. And I don't know how many times I've gone in and we're sitting right at the edge of the chair and the staff are coming, oh, sit back in, help them back in. And they're sitting there and they're thinking, this doesn't feel safe, and they're sliding out, and next thing they're sitting at the edge of their chair again. Because to them, the only place they can be sure it's safe to sit is right at the edge, because that's where they see there's a contrast. Here, They don't know if it's going down or if it's going up. Even though you kind of think, well, if you're sitting back, surely then it's okay. No, because the brain is telling them it's not safe.